Hi there, Colin Newbold here with another video blog or vlog. If you know much about what we stand for at TLC, you'll know that we care passionately about measuring not only the commercial impact of what we do, but just as importantly, the cultural impact as well. It's our company promise, in fact. So what fascinates us is how some members of the HR and the learning and development community do not always share our passions. There seem to be as many HR and L&D practitioners who are not bothered about measurement as those who are. And yet anyone in their organisation who holds an operationally responsible position, anyone in sales or operations or production, for example, is definitely very interested. And that goes especially for CEOs and CFOs too. So my colleagues at TLC and we got to wondering, why is it that so many HR and L&D practitioners seemingly aren't bothered about measurement? Could it be that after a lifetime of brainwashing, they just don't believe that learning and development can be measured effectively? You know, it's not easy, we'll grant you, but it is far from impossible. By planning the desired impact of the intervention or interventions in advance, in other words, by being very explicit about both the cultural and the commercial objectives up front, plus how you're going to measure those objectives, you can justify the L&D investment by building a proper business case. Or maybe that's the other reason why practitioners aren't so bothered. It all looks like too much work. Well, here's a tip if you're working with external suppliers at least. Ask them to propose the exact methods by which the impact of what they're designing will be measured. What, when, who, how. You know, if you're delivering the intervention internally, then you're going to need to do your homework to pull this off. But it's far from impossible, especially with the free guide that we're offering. More details on that at the end of the video. Now, in just a few cases that we've come across, there are operationally responsible stakeholders who just will not be tied down to measurements. You know, they kind of duck and dive, they procrastinate, they make excuses, they say they're not bothered, they put a whole host of obstacles in your way, and they're not, you know, really bothered or not prepared to put up with the effort involved, seemingly. Or maybe they're just plain fearful of what the measurement process might reveal. Yeah, it's a tricky one, we'll grant you, but the situation here calls for more of your influencing and coaching skills, doesn't it? You know, they shouldn't be allowed to get away with that kind of behaviour, especially when the organisation's paying for it. Anyway, so what do we mean by both cultural and commercial ROI? Well, let's start with cultural. Now, here's the list of typical soft measures that will tell you if the intervention or interventions have been successfully culturally delivered. So increased job satisfaction would be one. Strong net promoter score. Increased organisational agility and commitment. Improved teamwork. Strong senior management team. Robust succession planning. Improved customer service. Reduction in the number of complaints. Reduction in the number of conflicts. One measure that could be used is an employee engagement score. The more obvious measures are termed commercial. Now here there are some popular hard measures, depending of course on what you're delivering and what industry you're in and to whom you're delivering and for what objectives, but increased quality would be a good one. Increased sales, lower waste, lower returns, lower costs, shorter delivery times, reduced sickness and absenteeism, improved safety, improved customer and employee satisfaction, greater customer employee retention, shorter response time to customers. And again, you know, you could argue that employee engagement score is a hard measure. So there's some of the what's. As to who, when and how, well, you're going to need to see what existing measures are in place and integrate those with some new ones. But obviously the minimum amount of extra work that you guys have to do, the better. Enroll those who currently carry out any of those measurements to monitor the results, especially closely, and keep you informed. For measures where there isn't anything currently in place, consider co-creating something with your operationally responsible colleagues and your external supplier, if there is one. In the end, it's your ability to evidence the cultural as well as the commercial return on your organisation's L&D investment that will contribute hugely to your hero status, you know, your fan base. If you prove the business case for your employer, you'll stand a much higher chance of retaining or even growing your L&D budget for the following year. Now, earlier on I promised you a free guide on this. If you go to our website, tlcglobal.co/free stuff, you'll see the ROLI booklet. It's available there for download. ROLI, by the way, ROLI, stands for Return on Learning Investment, and it contains pretty much everything you need to know about L&D measurement. There's even a formula to show you how to calculate the monetary impact. Plus, if you sign up online, you'll gain access to a further 6 emails, each one of which shows more detail together with case studies and examples on each of the key steps. So go on, what are you waiting for? Sign up now. By the way, if you would please use the space below to post a comment, I'd be grateful. Maybe you disagree. Well, let's hear your point of view. Maybe you have further measurement examples that you can offer. Just bring them on. Thanks for watching. Be back soon.